Welcome back to IRL with Ellie and Ross.
Welcome back. Cheers. Happy New Year.
Cheers. Happy New Year.
As you guys know, we are big advocates for taking care of our mental and physical health, and we are also huge supporters for Australia Zoo and Wildlife Warriors.
Yes, we are.
So when we found out about High Vita Happy Energy, part of the Happy Saba group who donate 50% of their profits to causes like Wildlife Warriors, it really grabbed our attention.
High Vita is a natural herbal company. Unlike synthetic supplements, sourcing the most premium single herbs from around the world and providing it to you in an easy-to-swallow vegan capsule. We're both all about wellness and living active lifestyles, so adding High Vita to our daily routine was such a great move. Bit of a game changer, really.
It was.
We love the High Vita team's happy energy ethos. Their business model is more about social profits with a culture driven by their 3 Ps. Ellie, their 3 Ps.
Love for people, planet, and philanthropy.
Yes.
Not to mention, these guys are also Aussie-made, researched and come in only eco-friendly glass bottles. You can check out the full High Vita range exclusively at Chemist Warehouse, whether you shop, in-store or online.
So if you're looking to level up your wellness game with a brand that's not only good for you but gives back to people, animals and the planet, High Vita Happy Energy is where it's at.
And of course, always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Happy birthday to me, and
Hey, I
also
had my birthday late last year too, by the way.
this is our first episode back of the year. This is a really special episode because
Why is it special?
well, we're talking about something that was like at least 6 months in the making. A surprise that you had no idea was coming.
I had some idea something was coming, but I didn't know what it was.
I managed to plan a whole surprise vow renewal, basically a wedding for our 2-year wedding anniversary for Ross.
Before we've even had a honeymoon.
Yeah. Well, to be fair.
To be who? To be fair to who?
Well, to be fair, I started filming a movie right after we had our wedding. So that was why we couldn't actually go on our honeymoon. We were planning to.
That is true.
And then life just got away from us and
life just happened.
life just happened. It was just
How are
happening.
you, Jacob?
You know?
Welcome back, Jacob.
Yeah, welcome back, Jacob.
Has life been happening for you?
We've got
good.
Daisy in the studio with us today as well as per usual. Chilling.
Yeah. She's not chilling though. She seems a
Yeah,
little bit on
well,
edge.
she just wants to go to
So
you.
today, what a great way to kick this off.
Yeah.
You've planned an incredible surprise, which if anyone follows you on any of your stuff,
Yeah.
you'll see.
We've gone TikTok viral.
You have. Yes.
It's actually next level.
There's like 1 million views in the last 24 hours. Right?
But it was like it's almost at 2 million, one of our videos. But honestly, it was actually the biggest, most emotional, most logistically crazy thing I think I've ever done, because I don't think I've ever been able to pull off a surprise for you ever.
Yeah, it was a full
You've
surprise.
always-
So let's set the scene. About 6 months ago, I get a call from Alicia, our wedding planner, and in a couple of episodes, we're actually going to have her on.
Yeah.
Which is going to be exciting.
In 2 episodes
Yep.
time, Alicia Bridger is coming on and she's going to join us and we're going to talk about
Talk
our
about
first
how
wedding,
to plan an amazing wedding.
our first wedding, our second.
There's only one rule to planning an amazing wedding.
Do whatever the fuck you want. I
No,
don't know.
call Alicia and get her to do it all.
Literally. But yeah, so she called you.
Actually, my one rule was have a wife that I want to have, someone that I want to marry, and then she calls Alicia.
Yep. Alicia is.
So yeah, it was
the wedding and events
November last year. I get a call from Alicia, and randomly, and she's like, "Hey, your wedding anniversary is coming up. By the way, are you guys still happily married?" And I'm like, "Yeah." No, your wedding anniversary is coming up. Have you thought about doing anything? And I was like, "Well, no." First of all, I actually don't know the date of our wedding anniversary.
You are so.
Well, our anniversary of getting together is Valentine's Day, which is an easy thing, but I don't know. It's like the end of March, I
Ross,
think.
it's the 27th
Yes.
of March.
So she was like, "Do you want to do something in March?" I was like, "Yeah, that'd be awesome." She's like, "Well, what are you thinking?" And I was like, "An intimate dinner with like some close friends would be amazing."
Yeah.
And a vow renewal. She's like, "Okay, leave it with me. Just make sure she's available for a couple of days." And she gave me some dates. So I did. I didn't really hear anything from her for a couple of months.
So I was on the phone to her that day in the car park, and I'm like, I think today is the day that we tell him, because I felt the only way to get
Sounds
away
like you're
with
breaking up with me or something.
I felt like the only way of getting away with a surprise is making sure, like I said to her, I was like, he needs to think he's surprising me, so we can manipulate him to get.
Sort of like you stole that from me when you went to feed a crocodile, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Make them think it's their idea.
I took a page out of your book and was like,
no.
how can I get away with this? Because it's actually going to be really hard. We're planning, it's a vow renewal, but it was like, a renewal ceremony. I came in on a white horse. I was wearing 2 Stephen Khalil dresses. Like
that
I had
dress was like 30 kilos.
It was.
That was
and
incredible.
Getting off a horse gracefully in a 30-kilo dress is not the easiest thing, but somehow we did make it happen. So anyway, I was like, we were talking 6 months ago, and Stephen Khalil was actually the person who was like, we were talking about doing.
Stephen Khalil's he's a dress
He's
maker?
a wedding. He's known internationally as a wedding dress designer, as one of the best in the world. He is just and the most beautiful person.
Oh, and Ryan, his partner, like they're so amazing. Hey,
yeah,
I could just spend some good time with them.
They are. They're both so talented and amazing, like the best people. But we were out at dinner with them.
You were out at dinner with them.
Sorry, I was. Me and Alex were out at dinner with Ryan and Stephen. And we were talking about doing a custom look together, and he's just
this is months ago.
Yeah, this is like last year. And he was like, like I think he joked and was like, "Would you ever get married again?" And I was like, "Do you know what's actually really funny you say that?" Because
I'm really happy with this current husband, but do you have someone else in mind?
No.
Is that what
he meant like, would you, do something again?
I hope so. I hope so. I hope that's what he meant, Stephen.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely what he meant, Ross. They love you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were talking and he's like, "Would you ever get married again?" I was like, "Do you know what? I've been talking to my wedding planner, Alicia, and we were talking about doing a surprise like vow renewal for Ross." And he was like, "Done. Like, let's organize a fitting."
You, but
well, no. Look, to be honest, the reason why I did it was because
actually, I really liked what you said about this.
But you have made me feel like a literal princess for 16 years, and you have organized and orchestrated so many amazing surprises for me over the years, birthdays, all these things that you have done and orchestrated, like the proposed, like beautiful things. And I'm like, I want him to feel adored and loved and just really special. And you and I prefer and always gravitate towards experiences in life over just normal presents. Because we've been together for 16 years.
Over things.
Like I love looking back on the beautiful memories and experiences we have created together over the years. I
don't think we ever look into a wardrobe and be like, "Oh wow, I'm so glad I bought that wallet or that belt or those."
You can buy them for my birthday. Yeah. I appreciate those things on birthdays and Christmases, but I feel like
But 16 years later, it's kind of like, you bought the stuff that I know that you really wanted, and it's like exactly. Now it's like, oh, it doesn't actually really matter.
So I value those experiences, and I just felt like this would be such a beautiful way. And we had 28 of our closest friends at the vow renewal with us. They all knew what was going on. Everyone was like, so
they all knew. They didn't know everything though. Hey. Because you set it up and you deleted messages and everything.
Oh, I had my phone on Do Not Disturb for like a week before the wedding because I had people contacting me about stuff. And I'm like, guys, like I'm around him 24/7. We work together. We do all these things together. Like you can't message me about this stuff so close to the day because he's going to find out.
You did a great job. No one ruined our surprise.
There was almost a couple of slip-ups though with people on the phone.
There was a couple of little things that were like a bit weird when your team were organizing a suit for me. I was like, why?
Yeah, so getting Ross into a suit, like
I love suits. Don't get me wrong. I've got some nice suits,
but without you knowing that's why we were trying to get you into one. So months before this, my management had actually reached out to Ross and they were like, "Oh, Faraj would love to do like a beautiful suit for you for an upcoming event with Ellie. They just want your measurements on hand, so like send them through." Guys, I had to literally harass this man, Ross.
Yeah.
I had to harass him.
And we got it wrong still. We still got the measurements wrong.
The pants were a little bit big, but like everything else was a pretty good fit. So we got away with that. But that was my way, like the way I got around getting you into a suit without having a fitting, which was, I feel like we orchestrated it pretty well. But yeah, like I think.
So can I just share from my end what I thought was happening, right? So Alicia,
back up a real quick sec because we were just talking about why I was creating like this. But
rewind.
Yeah, but so we value these experiences together, and I thought this was such a great opportunity. And I also feel like people wait like 10 years.
Yeah, this is what I thought you were going to say. Some dumb fuck on your Instagram was like, "Oh, didn't you only get remarried?" And then your response was...
so many people messaged me, like even on TikTok, people were saying, "Oh my God, why would you do something like this 2 years after you've been married?" And what I don't think a lot of people understand is we've been together for 16 years. We got married, but we also value these experiences. And I think people wait to do vow renewals until like the 10-year, 15-year anniversary.
Or till they got a problem, and when they got a problem in their relationship. Maybe
Yeah,
we need a vow
exactly.
renewal.
Yeah.
Maybe we need another kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we need to move house.
No, but like people were getting angry that I was going so all out for something. And
Wasn't
they're
many
like,
people, but unfortunately the dickheads do stand out.
Yeah, but and it was so negative and so mean. I'm like, how can you get angry?
But you
at
know how
somebody
though,
celebrating?
because clearly they've never had that done for them. They've never thought about doing that for other people. So when you see those comments, you're just like, wow, you're actually a sad little fucker.
Yeah.
Like you actually have not really experienced
Like, I
life. You
hope
one,
the love-
you don't have someone to do this for, and two, no one's done this for you.
Yeah,
and so what
exactly.
you would prefer to do is be like, why would you do a vow renewal? Why
Yeah.
not, motherfucker? Like,
Exactly.
why wouldn't we do a vow renewal? Why
Exactly.
wouldn't?
But I think our experiences over our life, and especially in our 20s, losing our dads and everything. And I hate harping on about that,
We
but
found them
honestly,
both. We found our dads, by the
really,
way.
I think it really reiterates the fact that, you know, next year, 10 years, 5 years, whatever away is not promised for us. And I was like, I've always wanted to do something really special for you. And I just thought, you know, this would be such an amazing moment to celebrate you and us and the love that we have for each other and having our beautiful friends there, because as you get older, there's not a lot of people and events in your life where you can get all of your friends together in one place
Yeah.
and have an amazing celebration of something. But yeah, I do really feel like people wait for things for so long, and I just don't want to wait to celebrate or show you how much I love you. I want to show you now. I will continue to show you over the years.
There's a story that I'm trying to Google it and trying to find it, but back in the day when I was like doing coaching and stuff,
I know the
and
story you're gonna tell.
yeah, so there's a poem called "Cherish Every Day,"
Yeah.
and it's a story about a partner, and anyway, one of them dies or whatever, and they find a note. It's like, you know, I was saving that bottle of wine for a special. I was saving that set of lingerie for that, and that time never came.
Yeah.
And I know you take that shit to heart, especially
do.
because of, you know, how instantly things can be taken away from you. So,
Yeah.
you know, if anyone out there if you see something where someone just wants to do their own thing and celebrate whatever they're doing and it doesn't harm anyone and you
Fucking
want
let
to
them.
comment on it,
Leave them
like,
alone.
No, get some fucking counseling.
Like literally,
Like,
a girl was writing comments
get
on my,
some, like-
on my DMs, comments, and just like flooded all of my shit. And I was just like, how can you get so pissed off?
You see one.
No. It
you
wasn't
see-
one. There was a few. There was TikTok and on Instagram.
Literally,
But like, it's just so,
out of the
it's
thousands
just
of
so
comments-
hateful. It's
know.
literally so hateful. And it's like, how could you get pissed off at somebody for doing something so nice that literally has nothing to do with you? And be
why
like,
wouldn't you just
this is how you
unfollow?
should
Why
live
wouldn't you just be
life.
like, oh my God, this bitch again to your wedding?
Yeah, literally.
Unfollow.
If
Like,
you don't
why
like
would
it,
you
unfollow
even?
me. Who cares?
Like-
Or like get inspiration to renew your vows. But I think what was
They're
really
probably not
nice
in a
is,
relationship. That's probably part of it.
but what I think what actually was really nice on TikTok, there were a lot of girls being like, oh my God, I've wanted to renew my vows with my husband for so long. And I was always worried that people were going to go, oh, well, why are you doing that? Why would you do that? Like, it's only been 5 years. Like, and now I feel really inspired to do it regardless of what people think.
You're an
you know?
inspiration, babe.
Yeah. Look, I'm just here to set trends. I'm an icon. I'm a princess.
Yeah, Ellie Robbins.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
Tony, like Mel or Tony
Mel
Robbins.
and Tony.
Yeah, that's you.
But
You're
yeah,
just here to inspire people.
Yeah.
But you did. Look, you've pulled off, like, honest at that. There were a few little things. So from my side, November, Alicia called me, and then I really heard nothing until like March. She's like, yeah, it's all good. You just got to rock up at this place at like 2:00, and I've got a bit of a surprise for you. That's where it started. I was
I
like,
had so many calls.
I was
with
like, oh, why is she surprising me? Anyway, I was like, let it go. And then the day before we went I had to pick up your team, your glam squad, as you call them.
Yep.
Adam and Alex, they were to organise to fly in, and I needed to tell Ellie that they're here to organise. But she knew, and they knew it. So the prank was on me. It was punked. It was like Ashton Kutcher.
Ross, I literally had to act my ass off, and like I was getting guys, I was getting my hair done the day before the vow renewal, and I was in there all day getting like my new hair done and everything. And then Ross is like, you know, we're just going to go for a drive. And I was like, oh my God, Ross, like, where are we going? Like, what's happening? Am I dressed the right way?
You pulled it off. I genuinely thought you didn't know. You did actually fool me.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
That was the whole plan. And then we rocked up to the Gold Coast airport, and Alex and Adam were there, and I was just like, oh my God, what are you guys it's doing
You even did like a fake video. You're like, what have you organised for me?
Literally.
And I sat
and I put it on my Instagram.
Yeah, I silently sat there as well and didn't claim anything because I had done nothing at that point. Alicia had done everything.
Yeah, she planned.
And I'd just gotten told by Alex, like, yeah, just pick us up here.
There were so many people involved in this whole plan.
It was. So anyway, yeah, I picked up Alex, had them. They stayed over. The plan was Alex had organised to take you away to get you ready, and you didn't know. Alex was in on it.
Yep.
Bitch.
Everyone was.
Everyone was in on it.
But it was actually so great.
I was told to arrive there at like 2:30, 3 o'clock. I arrived there, hung around for half an hour, waited around.
So meanwhile, I'm actually getting full glammed into a Stephen Khalil wedding dress.
I got a blindfold put on me, taken into the what's called the greenhouse. Green room? Greenhouse?
Yeah, the greenhouse at the Valley Estate.
Yep. And then I walked in and so I'm like, why am I being blindfolded if I'm surprising? So I was like, something's up. But I didn't think that you'd organise 25, 30 of our closest friends to be.
Yeah.
But I walked into this room and I was like, I can smell the gays. Their cologne.
It was Michael's cologne.
Yeah, always recognize Michael's
one of our
cologne.
friends, Michael, he's got a very distinctive, beautiful cologne that he wears. And as soon as Ross smelled it, he's like, Michael's definitely here, which means like, John's definitely here, which also means all of Ellie's best friends are here and all the gays
And then I could smell some of the girls. It's like, this room smells really nice. Whatever the surprise is, it's going to be good. And then they took the blindfold off of me and I saw there was a room full of people, but then I was directed to walk outside and then all of a sudden my princess appeared on a white horse.
Do you know that was actually I've always wanted to do that. And that was one thing we couldn't have a part of our first wedding because of
because we were at the water.
Yeah.
You can't really have a horse walking in on water.
Yeah, you can't have a horse around the water in like a floating pontoon venue. But and we had it was all like a Bridgerton theme. And I didn't want it to be costumey. And it was like a modern style Bridgerton theme. And I was like, this is the perfect opportunity for me to ride in on a horse. And the venue was so beautiful as well. It was
good.
So in line with our theme.
The room that they kept me like waiting in, it was like a
it's beautiful. It's like a
pool
groom's,
table.
It's a proper groom's holding area
like
for like guys and their groomsmen, like groomsmen, best men, what groomsmen, groom and groomsmen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such a beautiful venue. The Valley Estate have done such a great job. But I was like, this is my perfect opportunity to ride in on a white horse. And when I told Stephen when we were designing the dress, he was like, are you actually serious? And not a lot of people knew I was riding in on a horse, by the way. I kept that very secret. My friends didn't know, except for like maybe 2 or 3, Alex, and because like they had to know because like they were around everything that was going on. But that was actually really sentimental because we used Zephyr horses from Byron Bay. That we actually used their services on our 13-year anniversary and went for a horse ride on the beach and had this beautiful breakfast on the beach that morning.
You surprised me. You were like, we're going down to Byron, and then we got on horses.
But then,
and that horse that I rode was the one that you rode in on.
Yeah, which I was just like, how amazing is this? What a full circle moment. And I love sentimental things like that. But we had like the venue organized with hundreds of these beautiful purple, white, pink flowers.
Like it
was really soft and beautiful. We had like this Bridgerton dessert style table.
Everyone had to speak with an English accent.
Yeah.
All right, Ellie. Hello, Ellie and Ross.
All of my friends were like, are we wearing top hats and canes? I'm like, if I see a top hat, I sent out like this message.
Dress requirements.
Because Marty was like, I'm wearing a top hat and I'm getting a cane. And I was like,
I can actually see him rocking up,
literally
swirling a cane.
I sent a group message and I'm like, if I see a man or a woman for that matter wearing a top hat or using a cane, I'm going to kick the cane out from underneath you and I'm literally going to hit the hat off of your head if I see you wearing one because this is not a costume party. But yeah, because I wanted it to be like that modern glam, like Bridgerton style, but like with our own
Bridgerton, but with mobile phones.
Yeah, because I don't see a lot of weddings be a Bridgerton theme and executed in like in the way that we kind of were hoping to. But yeah, we had like this beautiful champagne tower. What else did we do? Like we did the first dance thing. We did a lot of the things that we really originally did.
I didn't get to do. And I really like when a couple of days after when we, I was like, how did you pull this off? Like when did you do this? How did you organize that? And then you started to tell me. And you're like, like what I really wanted to do was all the things we've spoken about our wedding before and all the things that you said you would have done different, and not because those things were done bad. Our wedding was incredible.
It was literally not anything to do with
100 people at our wedding. Like I didn't get a chance to have a good conversation with really anyone. I had 60 conversations for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I fucking, I struggle with that.
Yeah.
Like I hate that.
You're actually the weirdest.
And I didn't dance.
Introvert.
I didn't dance with you.
Yeah.
Like at our wedding, really.
Bit.
We had a little bit at the end of the night, but like most of this, like we were just dancing and having fun.
There was nothing to change about like what we had planned, like with the like venue or
it was just,
like nothing like that we wanted to change. Because our first wedding was so beautiful. Like we had the best time. But awesome. I think it was one thing that you said was like, I want to, like if I were to do anything again, and this was right after the wedding, you were like, I want less people. And I also would love to sit down, like do a sit down dinner.
Yeah.
Because we did it was more of a party the next day, like a reception. And it was like, honestly, that wedding, I still have the most incredible.
Well, we're going to talk about it with Alicia.
Yeah,
we're going to cover our original wedding and then wedding 2.0.
I'll hold back on that. But it was honestly I just felt like I wanted to dote on you and make you feel so loved and adored because you are like
it was good. It was
the
like,
most beautiful person, and I just wanted to do something special for you. So
do you want to just say that into the camera? Just say that again.
Ross is the most amazing husband, and I just wanted to show him how much he means to me.
Facts.
I'm just going to use that as like a digital card for your birthday every year. But yeah, I mean,
you did an incredible job. I mean, and again. A couple of days after when you were like, I wanted to do the things that you mentioned to me that like you overwhelmed at your wedding. Like it's just crazy. Is that what was it, 85, 90 people at our wedding, which is probably somewhere in the middle. Some people have like less, some people have way more.
That's why I literally did not move. Like when we arrived, I was like, everyone can come to me. I was the most selfish bride. I did not give a shit. I was like,
but it was very overwhelming. You know what it is? So this second wedding, vow renewal, I reckon it's like the second time having sex. Like the first time is a wedding. It's like all of this. It's all built up,
but you and I are very different people,
Ross. It's just like over really quickly.
You and I,
and then the second one, you're just like, I'm doing right. I learned some stuff on this first thing.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that. And you literally had that all laid out for me.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
I wanted I literally created this whole event around what you would have loved to have done, and it was very similar to when we got married the first time. Really, like we worked with a lot of the same people. We had like the champagne tower. We did the cake cutting.
That cake was delicious.
It actually was. Emily bakes. Guys, if you ever need an amazing cake on the Gold Coast or in Queensland, Emily bakes. Jesus Christ. She did my birthday cake as well.
If you know Emily, she bakes.
She bakes. She bakes good. She did this beautiful 4-tier vintage piping, like pink bows. Go and look at it on my Instagram. It's like literally
She did your birthday
artwork.
cake too, hey?
Yeah.
We didn't even mention your birthday at Cowboys.
Yeah, actually.
Full cowboy themed birthday.
I don't think that needs to be mentioned because that was actually so wild that night.
It was a bit loose.
Yeah, it was a bit loose. But yeah, I mean, it was just, I wanted to just curate an experience that I knew that you would love. And because it wasn't like,
I feel like
I wasn't treating it like a wedding, but like I wanted to do all of the same thing because it was just so perfect the first time. I just wanted to relive it with you and just have you. There was a lot of things that went on behind the scenes at our wedding, family wise, and a few little things that happened that were upsetting for you. So this was kind of like nice that there was no drama.
Round two,
no, zero family drama.
And you got, remember, like on the first wedding, you got a lot of heat or comments, people about your second dress. You did 2 dresses this time.
Yeah.
That first one, which was like huge. It was literally like all of this times 20 wrapped around a human. It was incredible. And then you changed and then you did like you kept like the top on.
So I actually had this amazing floral bouquet made out of the same fabric that Stephen made out of my wedding dress. I had to like fly to Sydney, book it in with all of my work in Sydney so I could get away with you not thinking I was going down for a fitting for anything. I had about 3 fittings with Stephen. We designed everything and then just got all this inspiration, and he's just so creative.
3 fittings. I normally do my fittings in 1, but if you need 3.
He's just so gorgeous. I love him. But yeah, we did like this interchangeable corset with these bows. We had this stunning floral like bouquet made out of the fabric. And then we had this huge long train of the dress of the first dress, like a skirt that had a high split because we were on the horse. So I wanted
you
it to
were on
be,
the horse. There was
I
no
was
one
on the
else.
horse.
There was no
Me
one
and
else
my
on the horse
when I
other
say
than
me,
you.
I mean me
so
and my
you
Stephen
said we.
Camille dress.
We were on the horse.
It's like another.
Yeah, me and 28 of my guests were on the horse.
It was like working.
No, babe,
it was like
you were on
working
a
with
horse.
another, like sitting with another person because it was like I think it was like 25 kilos that back skirt.
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah.
And they did such a great job putting it on, putting me on the horse and like the whole thing. Like it was just so dreamy, and it was raining.
I was
going to
say, but tell me, we woke up that morning and it was raining. Did you shit yourself and think, oh, this is...
No, I was like, do you know what? The universe gives us what we like, what you're supposed to have in that moment. So I was just like, I'm just going to embrace it. I'm not going to stress about it. And it was honestly the most romantic thing ever. It was like a freaking Nicholas Sparks movie. Like, hello, The Notebook.
I don't know who Nicholas Sparks is, but if you said Nicolas Cage, if it's like a Nicolas Cage movie, I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
No, but like, no, seriously, like it was just.
Who is Nicholas Sparks, by the way?
He's a director.
Of
the
what
director of
movies?
The Notebook,
Oh,
Walk to Remember. Like,
okay, so I do know.
So it was honestly really cinematic. It was beautiful, and it just sprinkled. Like it wasn't even a big deal, but it made all of the footage and like all the behind the scenes so dramatic and beautiful. And honestly, like I couldn't care. I was just like, whatever. Like this is the moment. I'm going to live in the moment. I'm not going to let anything rain on my parade.
If it was hailing, you would have cared.
Oh yeah, I would have cared if it was hailing for sure. Because I wouldn't have been able to ride the horse down. No. And that was like my dream. So when I was actually riding that horse down, I was like, because you're not a crier. You don't cry at anything really.
No.
I think the first time I walked down the aisle, we were just both so nervous. Like I don't think I even cried. When at our first wedding.
Oh no, yeah, I didn't. I actually wasn't emotional at our wedding at all.
Well,
I was like, finally.
No, the second day you were, because you cried like a baby when I sung our first dance song.
Yeah, sure.
But I was like, I wonder how he's going to react, because it's a lot in the moment, being like blindfolded, then finding out everyone's in the room, and then
sounds like
I made this custom song of Lana Del Rey, Young and Beautiful, and that we love that song. But I made a custom creation of this song for you. And I knew, I was like, this is going to make him cry for sure. But then when I walked in on the horse, you were just like sobbing, and it made me cry. And I was just like,
I was crying before I saw you.
Yeah, like you were just literally sobbing.
Because all those things, like you, my person did all this and went to all this effort.
You hadn't even seen the rest of the effort that was going into that day yet.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God. And then I saw you rock up on a white horse and I'm like, of course she did.
What did you think? What were you thinking? What was going through your head?
When you rocked up on a white horse?
Yeah.
Of course she fucking did. She wanted a white horse, so she made the event happen herself.
She really said she a princess.
Yeah. But I was like, wow, this is cool. And I knew everyone was standing behind me. I was watching you rock
when
up
I
on the
saw
horse.
you crying, I was like, oh my God. Like I actually got really emotional. And then I pulled up on the horse and gracefully.
You pulled up on the horse?
I literally did. I had no run through because it was raining, and like once I was on that horse in the dress, I was like, I cannot move and get off and then get on again. It's a lot. Like it was a whole process. But I got off gracefully. Stephen came and put my shoes on.
Yeah.
And then gave me my bouquet. And then I walked to you. And honestly, I think the first thing that came out of my mouth was, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry, because you were literally sobbing. And then we walked down to the beginning of the aisle where we were going to do everything. And you just like did not stop crying. It was just, oh my God. It was
very overwhelming. And also to see like all of my friends and to see, for me, it was like, you went and did this thing without me. I know how much thought and effort. I know how much effort it would have been just to keep it from me, let alone like planning it. The planning it was the easiest part.
So many things,
but that to me, it was very overwhelming.
Yeah,
and it was like, and to see all of like our friends and celebrate us and get together, and for them all to get along, it was very emotional. I got choked up.
Yeah. Yeah,
and there was a lot of pollen in the air too.
Yeah. Oh, shut up.
My sinuses were really playing up.
But then I did like a second dress with Stephen, and I had this, it was like a Kendall Jenner Met Gala after party inspired skirt that she sort of had, that we altered to make our own sort of like look. But that was.
Cucumbers not included?
What did you think? Yeah, no, cucumbers included. But what did you think when I came down and that? Because I feel like you've been.
I was like, yeah, of course. Why would she say the same thing for more than 3 hours?
Yeah, exactly. Why not have two dresses?
She's got some of the most talented people in the world in this room who make this stuff. Of course she's going to come out.
Honestly,
and
it's
something
actually
crazy.
so awesome that these people become your friends and like you just get to meet
we
great.
very I mean, when we were sitting down, you're looking around and probably I want maybe 25%. So that would be a quarter of the room, just because I know you're not very good with numbers.
Shut up, Ross.
So like 7 to 8 people out of the 30, a quarter of them.
Yeah.
We work with them.
Yeah.
And they are the best at what they do in their space. Like that, it's so nice. Like, when you went off with Alex and Haddam to do makeup and hair, I've never, and obviously Stephen being there, Alicia, it's like, there's never a worry. I was never even thinking like, oh, what if I just knew that like those people are just, if something happened in their space, like if there was a makeup fail or it started raining, hair, dress, venue, I knew that every one of those, they would just had it sorted.
Alicia just had a backup for everything. She's
literally.
She's literally like the fairy godmother in Cinderella. She's like, problem? It's like gets a little wand out and she's like, thing fixed. Like I honestly, I just adore her. But
you know how good it is. So I didn't have anything obviously to do with this renewal.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a huge amount to do with our wedding. Like
for the important things, yes.
90-10.
And
right?
everything.
Like 90% of the things, we looked at stuff together, agreed on things. But 90% of the things
all the logistics stuff, you were just like, I don't need to like, but you had a say in like things that were important for the day and things that you wanted included in the day were included.
Yeah. So for me, it was like when
I'm not off here planning a whole bloody wedding by myself.
No.
either.
So for me, I'm like, I know that you're going to get what you want but to work with someone like Alicia, like to know that she just has stuff going, because that's the last thing you want to be thinking about on those types of days are the unexpected things. So to have people that are so responsible and professional that do handle the things that you find out 2 or 3 days later that, oh, by the way, you didn't know this was happening, this is happening, this is happening.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Like seamless. Like an event planner, wedding planner, like I'll say this to her when she's here.
I was not stressed.
It's like,
honestly, for anything, either times at our wedding and the vow renewal, I was not stressed about one goddamn thing because Alicia just had her shit handled. It's next level.
I'm too blessed to be stressed.
Too blessed to be stressed. But yeah, I think with the wedding and then the vow renewal, if people are like, why are you doing this? But honestly, like I just wanted this whole thing to be its own moment, I just wanted to just embrace the whole experience, celebrate you, celebrate us.
Why not? Like life happens, right?
Like, why would you not want to create beautiful
day,
memories to look back on?
You do your breakfast, you maybe do your work, or you do your workout, maybe do your breakfast, you go to work, you come home, you do your dinner, you do the grind, rinse, repeat. Like why wouldn't you, to your person, if you're fortunate enough to have found your person, why wouldn't you be like, you know what? I'm going to fucking celebrate you.
And like, who cares?
Like, let's do that.
And who cares what people think? The only people who have something negative to say are bloody miserable anyway. So
exactly.
Get a fucking life.
But also, we do love the trolls. The trolls don't actually realize. No. Look, the trolls don't realize how much. If trolls just decided to just, instead of being in their little wanky dungeon and keyboard warring for a week, if all the wanky trolls literally clocked off, if all of them clocked off from the internet for a week, revenue in all different areas would drop. All the views would drop. Sponsorship money would drop. The trolls are what
Daily
actually
Mail
think
would not be in business.
Out of 1,000 comments, you only need 3 or 4 fucking wanky trolls to make a stupid comment, and
That's
that
what
1,000
makes posts
comments
go
goes. So
viral.
it's a little bit of like
people's difference in opinion. But I mean, like, look, you can give constructive criticism and not be a dick about it. And I think it's like when people just think that they can say whatever they want.
Why would you
want.
ever get onto someone's social media?
Shut up.
Hey, why would you ever get onto someone's social media to give them constructive criticism publicly? Like if I actually cared about, I would DM them and be like, "Hey, right. I don't have a swear jar."
I don't think we've ever said the C word on this podcast before.
Daisy. Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Do you want to repeat it?
Nah, it's all good.
So if you actually have something constructive, like send a message to the bird, just be like, hey, just so you know, Like, if you're gonna, anyway.
Honestly, it spurs me on because I'm like, what's the next thing I'm planning for us? What can we do? But yeah, I honestly, I think it's such a great moment, like a time to celebrate people and do what you can. And it doesn't need to be crazy extravagant either. Like,
did you see your own second wedding?
But Ross,
it doesn't need to be crazy.
Over the top.
Jacob, back me up here. It doesn't need to be crazy or extravagant. You don't need to rock up on a white horse. Your dress doesn't need to be 25 kilos. What? Carry on. No, it can be low key. Go.
You know that I'm over the top, like in my best of times. That's just who I am as a person.
In your worst of times, you're also over the top.
Yeah.
To be honest,
that's actually what I meant. In my worst of times, I am over the top. I'm very dramatic. It's like icon slay diva princess energy. You know, that's just me.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot of people out there who they don't like being over the top, but they like celebrating special moments. So I think if you divas out there, girls, guys, if you want to plan something over the top or under the top, whatever you want.
What the fuck is under the top? What is under the top?
Ross, I just mean like explain. Just like not as crazy, you know, not as over the top.
Yeah,
like you
top.
Just
that's going to catch on.
Low key.
It's pretty under the top.
Over the top, under the top, whatever. It's low key, you know?
Cool.
It's a low key slay, whatever.
Yeah,
low key slay, over the top
under
slay,
the top.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I think like just don't care what people think. Just you do you and create amazing memories of the people that you love, and that's what life is about.
Facts. It is.
Period.
Facts. You can see you well, I know because I live with you 24/7. You can see that actually those like values and what you say that like that actually drives your life.
Yeah.
I know that now in probably the last since your dad passed away in the last probably 8 years, maybe 6 years, 7 years.
Yeah.
You are now like I think 10 years ago you were a bit like, oh, I don't want to like annoy or piss people off or whatever. Now you're just like, I don't fucking care.
If you like me, you like me. If you don't, go away.
If you don't, you'll comment anyway. And it's good for us. So bring it on, you troll. Cool.
Honestly, I just find that like, but I love how people have reacted to it and it's been so positive and like, people have enjoyed seeing us celebrate each other. So I think that's really beautiful. But we actually did get a question but from people saying, did you write like new vows or did you repeat the old vows? And obviously because you had no idea and were unprepared, but I knew you would wing it. I knew you would literally, because you're so good at public speaking. It's next level. But then you're also like weirdly introverted as well. So
just to the camera again. Say that again.
Ross, this isn't a Ross praise session. Okay, that's
I want to put this on my fucking LinkedIn.
It is about. It's not a Ross testimonial.
Jacob, please timestamp these moments because
it's not a Ross testimonial, Ross. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, like you had no idea, so you had to wing what you were saying. But
it's very easy to wing what you, unless you're not comfortable, like speaking in public. But I mean, they're all our friends. Yeah. I mean, 80% of people were our friends, and then there was staff and that sort of stuff. But it's very easy to speak from your heart when it's like I'm just talking to the person I love.
Yeah,
I've always found that easy.
Yeah, but I ended up writing new vows because I feel like you just grow as a couple and. Like I did repeat.
And like Grok wasn't around when you wrote your original vows either.
As if I would use AI to create something. Like I would rather die, Ross. Seriously.
Hey Grok, unhinged. Please write new vows for my husband of 2 years. He's a fucking nutcase. I love him, but please write me new vows. No, if you haven't tried Grok Unhinged, by the way, try that.
I worked on those vows for quite some time and I was really happy with how they turned out. They were really beautiful.
They were.
And I actually found it so hard for me to actually say them because it honestly just came from the heart so much. And, there were things that I reiterated when we did the vows that I already said in our first vows, but there were just, I think things about how you make me feel as a person and how like the person that you make me just by being you is just the most beautiful thing. And I think everyone who is with the love of their life should feel like that. You should feel like that person gives you confidence and that person inspires you and that person is just like you just adore them. So, I really wanted to like say those things in front of the people that we love and in front of you. And it was really hard because like you were tearing up all the time and I was already so emotional because
they were really nice.
There was
vows. And then you hear all the gays in the back.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah,
guys, seriously, like, can you just tea? Like, after every sentence, like tea. Like, guys.
No, honestly, if you ever need to feel good about yourself, like having gay best friends is like the best thing in the world because they will lift you up to the gods. But yeah, it was very hard to say the things that I was saying emotionally. Like I was getting so choked up when I was saying them. And when Focal actually put our video, like our wedding video together, that was the first thing.
The guys who did the video.
Yeah. When they put everything together, thanks Jacob. Jacob was there. The whole team was there during the day. Like 5-man team.
Torture.
Yeah.
And then they had to edit it.
Follow us all around.
They had to listen to your vows. You know, the vows are very romantic the first time, but after the 11th time.
Exactly.
Shut up.
No, they did such
It's like saying a McDonald's
You guys actually
menu.
did the most incredible job. It was like a movie. It was just so beautiful.
The most.
Doing the most. Vibe.
Best vibe. The most. Slang.
It was actually so special. And I think like when that all came together and hearing the actual vows over the music, I was like,
that was really cool.
I actually got so choked up. But yeah, it was just everything that I'd hoped for and more because I wasn't expecting like the rain to be so beautiful and all those things. But yeah. So like you actually improvised very well when you were talking.
That's what I do, baby.
Yeah.
That's what I do at each one of these episodes.
Yeah.
Improvise.
Improvise. Get crazy.
It has been an awesome start to the year with us, even though we're literally a third of the way through the year.
Yeah.
We're already in April.
Mm-hmm.
We have some awesome guests coming up. I'm really excited to chat with Alicia because there's stuff that I don't know how you guys organize. There's stuff I don't want to know how you organize it, but like the intent, knowing the intention behind things.
There's so many intricate things behind. Like, we had so many calls together, and I think it's actually really cool. Like, we'll sort of talk about it so like people can maybe get some tips on how to surprise their partner.
Yeah,
because I'm still
guys. Biggest tip. Just call Alicia.
Yeah, call Alicia.
Just call Alicia and just say
seriously.
Say yes to whatever she says.
But I couldn't have done anything without her, and like even just everyone we worked with was so fantastic, and the whole like when I walked out to see the setup, I literally cried. And Alex is like, "Bitch, I just did your glam. Like, can you fucking not for 2 seconds?" Like, she's like, let me get the Q-tips. Jesus Christ! You did.
Look, you pulled off. Cheers.
Yeah.
Happy
anniversary, Vow Renewal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already planning our next one.
Okay.
For all the haters out there who are pissed off that I doted on my beautiful husband, just know that there's content coming.
Yeah.
So
haters.
Just
losers.
Get
back under your bridge.
Okay, so we can talk about this forever.
Okay, we're done.
But Alicia's coming on, and we're going to go through a couple of things and ask her a few questions.
We also started a new challenge as well.
We
literally
did.
yesterday. Health and fitness challenge because you need to get in shape, obviously.
Shut up, Ross.
Bit of work to do, but if we're going to renew our vows, there's a bit of work to do. No, we're going to talk about that. You've got a movie coming out?
I do.
Oh, I've just got a movie coming out.
Yep.
Oh, who's in it? Oh, Chuck Norris. Ice-T.
No, not Ice-T. Vanilla Ice, you idiot.
True. That's true.
I know they're two very similar looking people.
Sorry, Vanilla Ice.
Very similar. Sophie Monk,
I would
Cher.
much prefer to take Ice-T's
Holy
career
moly.
over
No,
Vanilla
it's actually so crazy. But yeah, I mean, like we have so many things coming up. But yeah, we've got our
Fashion Week.
Yeah, Fashion Week's happening.
It's coming up soon.
I'm actually really excited about Fashion Week this year. I didn't go last year.
What's it called this year? Please don't tell me it's called the Afterpay.
No,
buy fashion now. I'm paying 4 installments, and here's
it's very different this year.
That should have never have been. It doesn't matter how much fucking money they threw at Fashion Week. Like you don't like. Here's all the fashion, and major sponsor is Afterpay. Get it in 4 easy and store. If you can't buy the stuff, don't buy it.
I know how you feel about.
That's actually disgusting.
Yeah. I know how you feel about Afterpay.
Yeah. So, and a word from our sponsors is, if you like this, you can pay in 4 reasons. No.
Oh my God.
I just don't like that. I think Afterpay is a good system. But like, why wouldn't you, like, if you had $200 $200
Yeah.
divided by 4, easy
Yeah.
payments, $50.
Yeah.
$50 a month over 4 months.
Yeah.
Great. Keep that $200. Like, do something else with that. But,
Yeah.
Anyway, you got Fashion Week coming up.
Yeah.
A few other things coming up.
We have a couple of shoots, campaigns, and things like that, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, I think this was like the perfect moment to kick off the year with our podcast, this next series. I don't know, season.
We haven't decided.
Yeah.
Episode something.
Episode 1 of 2025, baby.
Yeah.
Yeehaw! But yeah, I'm excited for our next episode and having Alicia on the podcast as a guest. It's going to be really incredible. We've got some extra super special guests this year, which is going to be unreal.
There's a guest that I like. This guy built his business and he sold it.
Ross, don't give things away.
He sold it for over.
Everyone can wait.
This guy sold
it's
his
worth the
business
wait.
for over $1 billion.
Yeah. And I actually don't think he's ever been on a podcast.
He's never
before.
been on a podcast. Never.
Yeah, amazing.
Never been on a podcast.
But yeah, it's going to be a big year. We're really excited. We're pumped up.
Huge.
We have so many things happening, and we can't wait to share it with all of you guys.
Tariffs.
Shut up, Ross. We're not doing that right now.
Okay.
We're saying goodbye to everyone. But thanks for joining us, guys. It's been awesome having everyone back.
What a way to kick off the new year.
Yeah.
For us.
Yep.
Thank you so much for.
Now it's your turn to
Thank you
surprise
so
me
much for
something.
10-year wedding anniversary. So just
Yeah. We should wait until our 10-year anniversary.
definitely
to do a
got to
vow
wait.
renewal.
Yeah.
Oh God, we're idiots.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, babe. Thank you so much for doing this again with me.
Thank you.
We do live together, but
my
we're actually
darling.
sitting down and decided to do this again
Yeah.
for a handful more episodes.
Good thing I like you very, very much.
Me too. Peace, guys. Do all the things. Please like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, do all the shares,
all of the stuff.
all the things. We love to have you back, guys.
Buy
Thanks
multiple
for having
devices,
us,
have it
listening to our-
streaming at the same
listen to our
time.
bullshit.
If you ever want to pay like a bot farm in China to stream these as well to help the views and all those other recommendations, it always surprises me that 28% of you do not subscribe to this series.
Exactly.
No, I'm joking.
I love you.
Love you
Thanks
too.
for being back here with me. And I'm so glad I could just celebrate you recently. And I just love you. I love us.
I love you celebrating.
I love everything. All the
All right,
shit
guys.
we're doing.
Peace. Thank you.
Peace, guys. Love you.
And goodbye.
Big kiss.
Thanks for listening to In Real Life. If you'd like to show your support, you can subscribe on Spotify and follow the podcast on Instagram at the IRL Podcast. And don't forget, you can watch full episodes on Spotify or YouTube. We'll catch you next time.